You know ultimately what this ends up being, and everyone. This is for the chat too. You all let me know what are you committed to when it comes to this organization? Are you committed to a 3 to 4 year rebuild?
Over 100 in the chat.
Over 100 in the chat. I appreciate it. Are you committed to the 3 to 4 year rebuild?
Hey, we got a free Larry Hoover in the chat. We didn't made it.
You know you did it when
free
you got
the guys.
Free that boy Larry.
Hey,
free the guys.
But what are you committed to with this? Because the organization is obviously using this as an evaluation year. We know that they're looking to make moves. We're gonna have a lot of space on.
Are you essentially saying are we committed to Kobe and Wendell?
Like as a fan base, you all have to realize that we can sit here, we do these post games, and obviously this is what we want to do as a profession. But for the fan base, you have to be able to ride the ride.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're not willing to ride the ride, these games, every game is going to feel like a weight. Heavy weight on you when we lose, and then you're gonna be picking apart every win. This is really just looking at. Some
I think that's essentially really what we do.
It's what we do, but it's like I'm at the 3 to 4 year mark.
But I think
in 3 years, I think we should be top of the East in 3 years. That's where I'm going.
I would say I'm gonna be real with you based on how it's the NBA. Sooner than that,
I can get with AK.
Sooner than that. Because because I'm gonna say this. The fact that AK called Billy into his office 3-4 games ago to talk about what their plan was at the trade deadline means that in the least he's talking to his coach about, should we be active? Do we want to make a push? Do we want to go get somebody? Do we want to go? I love that. And it's something I didn't expect because of how they did stuff in Denver. The biggest person that they ever traded for in Denver was Will Barton.
Oh.
Or, because they signed, what's his name?
I didn't follow what he did.
They signed Paul Millsap.
Yeah.
I didn't follow what he did over there.
They traded?
So in 3...
Did they draft Will Barton? They might have drafted him.
Danilo, because you got rid of Melo.
Danilo got a 9.
That's not AK though.
Oh.
That's not AK.
Oh, you talking about?
I'm talking about with AK. I'm talking about when they got there. The biggest moves they made was we're gonna wait. We're gonna build our team through the draft, which has worked. But now it's okay. Let's go sign a free agent because we need a big name free agent. LeBron went to the Lakers. He went there. He went there. We got Paul Millsap.
But this is why I say that though, right? Realistically, you look at the top teams in the East and who they've been for the last 5 years. Some of these teams have been going at this, like the process has been in the process for a very long freaking time, right? Miami has been doing what they're doing for a very long time.
Yeah.
Toronto, although they've recently won a championship, they were top of the East for a very long time. Celtics, 5 years.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? These teams, they really rode the wave, right? Unless you have a LeBron, a KD, or something like that, it's those players who can demand organizational shifts that will give you all the pieces you need right away because their stardom kind of dictates that. Right. We're not going to be in those situations in which it's like, next year, Zach and we there. Zach first of all, Zach ain't got that status yet. Right. I mean, he's having a great season, but he's not that type of player yet. I want him to be, but he ain't there yet.
Yeah.
Right? On the same time, Billy Donovan has never really done well with those type of players. You got to think, Billy Donovan, for what he's
had a lot of stars,
is a great coach.
He's had a lot of stars,
but he has not been able to get them over the hump.
Yeah,
Billy Donovan has touched a lot of phrasing, but he's coached. he's
touched a lot of guys' lives.
Seriously, he's coached some people like 3 all-time greats.
He came in the game with Russ and KD.
4.
He came in the game. He started with Russ and KD.
AK, for what it's worth, has made some good moves and stuff like that. But the benefit of what he's doing is finally kicking off. Right. So this is one of those things where it's like you got to be. We're in a 3 to 4, maybe 5 year run, and this is the catalyst of it.
Here's the only breather I would say with Billy. He was never allowed to learn from his mistakes that he made in that series versus Golden State, because I put KD didn't show a lot of heart after they got beaten game 5, and Russ was shooting terribly.
So
they both were shooting terribly.
They both were shooting terribly. But this is the thing.
James Harden disappeared.
But this is the thing. No, James wasn't on that team.
The year that they blew the 3-1 lead, he wasn't.
James wasn't on that team. Okay. But here's what I'll say. If Billy is allowed, which I'll be real with you. Maybe it's just because we coming from Jim Boylan, so we can see the full contrast. But if Billy is allowed to learn from his mistakes and get another shot at it the next year, and KD doesn't leave, do they learn from their mistake, which Billy seems to be really good at, just from what I've seen here, and you get over that hump the next season?
I'm gonna say this:
the biggest, my fault. The biggest difference is with him and the Bulls. The East is very different.
Very different.
From year to year.
But it's about being able to win the big game.
No, but look, to PK's point, a lot of those at the top are at the culmination
we
of all that they've been working on.
We just won and we 8th again. And before that, 3 games ago, we was 6th. And we lost and we went to 10th. That's the biggest difference right now.
The only difference in our...
Oh, and by the way, we're not above 500 either.
The only difference in the
16
East
to 18.
right now is the Eastern teams were hit the hardest by COVID.
No.
Yo, and I think
the Wizards were hit the hardest. The Bucks got hit hard, and Philly got hit hard.
Yeah,
but Philly's still the best team in the East, ain't they?
Yeah, I mean, but
the Bucks
that's
but I mean, legitimately,
Bucks get hit hard.
Nah, but
legitimately, Philly, Brooklyn, Milwaukee, and Milwaukee went. I don't know whether
lost a couple
whether they were hit hard or not. They lost like 5 in a row with Giannis and Middleton out there. Those supposed to be your 1 and your 2. Boston is 4. Boston is 4 again. A week ago, Boston was out the playoffs.
But to that
and
point,
Boston is 18 and 17. The Knicks are 5, 18 and 18. The Heat, it's not the same. It's not the same.
But to that point, who's fifth?
The Knicks.
Who's fifth right now?
The Knicks.
The Knicks are 5th right now. I don't know. I also don't know if this is updated because it still say the Bulls are 10th.
Because I think everybody's like tied, and I think a lot of people got wins over the Bulls.
Right. Possibly.
The Knicks are one of the scarier teams.
I feel like that's kind of what the chat is looking at. Like, they're looking at the Knicks because they're looking at the turnaround. You brought in Tom Thibodeau. You released 50 power forwards. Like Julius Randle is an all-star, but they're building something over there. But the process is kind of sped up because you technically got Tibbs over there with a lot of young pieces that's fitting the system.